Angel Studios is really messed up because, they bought Animal Farm, and of course this is going just about as well as everybody expected, which means nobody's liking this movie. But Angel Studios has decided to go the way of Hollywood. So they're basically insulting the fans and being very, very petty. No, it's not good at all. This is how you go broke, as they say. Go woke, go broke, and all, the thing that's practically a cliche at this point. But before we get into that, there was another issue that I found very depressing. Me and my wife kind of have this saying, you become what you hate. And it's kind of become what's happened with like the podcasting space. Because there was a whole list of podcasters that said they reviewed this movie, but they hadn't even watched it. They just got paid. So I'm going to show a few examples of those people right now, which this is very disappointing.
Wow.
So the first was Riley Gaines, and she's that swimmer that had to give up her trophy to that fella in the swimsuit. So she says, my husband and I got an early access screening to Animal Farm, an animated adaptation of George Orwell's novel made by Angel Studios. First of all, it was not made by Angel Studios. Angel Studios just bought it from Andy Serkis, and it's incredibly well done. They do a perfect job reminding viewers that Marxism always has and always will fail. Now, we've already done an episode on Animal Farm, this version, and so we already know they're not complaining about communism. They're taking Orwell's story and flipping it and complaining about capitalism instead. So it's very clear she did not watch the movie. She just got this because she was paid, and Tim Pool and others called her out. Okay, Amy McLennan says, okay, I go to my other Bible study at around 12. It seems to be a kind black man from somewhere in the U.S. He is a teacher, kind teacher. Well, good, excellent. If we're not done, we might check them out. So, yeah, that sounds good. Yeah.
Thank you for being here.
So, don't get me started about Orwell. Yeah. So, anyway, so yes, so Riley Gaines has clearly not watched the movie. So that was one person that did it, and then this was interesting. Actually, before I go to the Newsweek article, we had Tucker Carlson doing the same thing. Paid partnerships. Angel Studios, see Animal Farm in theaters May 1st. Tickets available. You could get a promo code under Tucker. So, he was paying attention. I know.
Dude, that's terrible.
I know. Like, especially since this movie's like communist trash, and all these conservative guys are promoting it because they're paying zero attention. Like, it's really...
He's like, yeah, I'll take your money.
It's like a fledgling Tucker laugh. It's like, oh, and then he does, So great. Tim Pool was on it, and he said, none of these people watched the movie. Not surprising. And so this Joe Redden, the older millennial, so he hadn't watched it.
Well, at least little Timmy Pool's calling out.
He's been on it
troops.
like all day. Tim Pool's been jumping people.
Is his hat still on? Has he taken his hat off yet? Oh, jeez. It's not even wintertime, bro.
Hey, the beanie's a look. It's a look.
No, it's not a look. Every time I see somebody in the summertime wearing a sock hat, I'm like, you're an idiot.
Maybe you're just a little harsh. Maybe you're just a little harsh, Cody.
Or there's something wrong with your body temperature regulation. Because like you shouldn't, in 90-degree weather, you can't wear a sock hat. You're messed up.
Having a bad what is it? Thyroid. He's got thyroid issues, Cody. Come on, be nice. Be nice.
Go to the doctor. Take the hat off.
You're just being a little harsh.
I mean, the thing hasn't come off in years. Look, it's so even pretty. On that AI picture.
It's
AI
a
doesn't
look.
Even know what he looks
It's
like
a
without
look.
A hat.
Like, come on. You got to be a little kind to him. You're the one wearing a backwards cap like it's 1997.
Well, look at this. Hey, look, if you ask AI If you ask AI to draw a picture of Tim Pool without a hat, it couldn't do it.
There are pictures
the data's
of him
not there
without his hat. Yeah, there is. He's very bald.
No, there's
He's very
not.
bald. We should be nice, okay?
Well, I'll stop talking right there.
Personally, I think he looks rather dashing without his sock cap. But, people get mad. It's like, well, they joke. They're like, you're only wearing the hat because, you're bald. And then he doesn't say anything about it for years. Then he finally takes his hat off and it turns out he's bald and everybody gives him crap. So, but it's like, I think you look rather dashing, Tim. I'll just say that. Anyway, moving on. Let's see, who else? This is another one. No, that's not it. There was one other person on here. Or I was hoping there was one other person on here. Okay.
Don't know,
Amy
buddy.
says, if you guys go, thank TK. I'm not sure what you mean, but if you're saying fairly well, was good talking to you, I think that means thank you, but I'm not sure. So, if you guys go, TK. The other study starts at 12. Okay,
Maybe she's talking about the other stream.
Okay,
yeah.
if you guys go, it starts at 12. Okay, yeah, if we're still here, we will check it out. So, sounds good, Amy. Thank you. So, all right. I think that's everybody. But you get the idea. People are promoting this thing without even watching it. It's really...
Because they're being paid too. Because they're being paid too.
Being paid. It's depressing. I hate everything. It's like, don't you love watching your heroes die? So, okay, it's called Truth Right Back. Truth Right Back. Okay. Trevor, help me remember that. Truth Right Back. All right, thank you, Amy. Appreciate it.
TRB.
All right, so Tim was talking about it. I don't think I got anybody else. So let me show you Newsweek's response. So,
hey, let me run to the bathroom.
All right, sounds good. So this is what Newsweek had to say about it. A spokesperson for Angel Studios told Newsweek there are 4 facts about the film to get straight, because obviously everybody's giving them crap because they bought a commie movie. Peace out, Amy. Good to see ya. So, Angel One is the distributor of this film, not its producer, nor with creative control. So they bought the movie. Number 2, the Angel Guild members viewed the film and voted heavily to support it. Now, just so you know, this is a very common business tactic. When you get into trouble, you just blame the board. You create an amorphous group of people that don't know anything about anything, and you go, it wasn't our fault. We sent it to the committee. They're supposed to look over this stuff. Blame them. So, they're just kind of dunking on their guild so they don't have to, the leadership doesn't have to accept responsibility. So, this is like a standard corporate tactic. Create a corporate entity and use the entity to, just blame things. Offshoot problems. You sent me the Truth Right Back link. Okay, great. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. All right, so that's I'd be surprised if the guild even existed, Trevor. So, but who knows? I could be wrong about that. I'm just postulating. So, what guild are we joining? The Angel Guild that apparently voted for and approved of this movie. I don't believe it for a second. So,
I approve of Angel Food.
Approve of Angel Food cake. That is so relevant. So, point 3. Why the title is the same as the classic book. Updates. Not rewrites, not commie propaganda, not inverting the message. Updates, Trevor. Updates.
Wait. Why is it commie
Because
propaganda?
It's saying that the capital, they're hoping the kids will believe capitalism is bad. And they're also hoping that the kids will never actually read Animal Farm and realize Orwell was talking about the Russian Revolution.
Well, capitalism is bad.
Not compared to communism.
Oh.
Capitalism, some guy gets fat and smokes cigars. Communism, everybody dies of starvation and genocide. So there's a bit of a difference.
We don't want commies.
He's still a fat guy with cigars,
like 2 fat guys with cigars, and everybody else is dead. In capitalism, there's 5 fat guys with cigars, and everybody else is marginally poorer but jealous. But everybody's alive in the capitalist scenario.
Yes, right. Yeah.
Anyway, so it wasn't commie propaganda inserted into the film. It was just updates. So, yeah, we're made to make it relevant to broad-based, viewer-centric, family-friendly audience. It was just to make the movie family-friendly. You know.
We don't want to show anything mean.
We don't want it to have a sad ending. That's what it was, you know. By family,
the principles of our members. Sorry,
I don't even know what that means, so it's all right. So
the last sentence on what you've got pulled up, it says this is an anti-communism film, and the Angel Guild will ensure that it stands by the principles of
point number 4 is
members.
just a straight up lie. Like, it's just a straight up lie.
But of our members can be anything. They can just make up whatever
Angel
they want.
Studios is supposed to be Christian, so they're sitting there going, "It's not for communists. Our guild is Christian. Our members are Christian. Go see the movie. It's for Christian. It has Christian ideals." And everybody's like, "You're full of crap. It's Seth Rogen and Andy Serkis. Like heck, it's gonna be like Christian. Like Seth Rogen's the guy that made Sausage Party." He is not going to be making like an anti-communist film. Like, the dude's a degenerate. Like, he wants a stupid populist because he thinks he's going to be among the elite. But we're inferencing motive. Like,
yes.
That's logically unsound. It's inferencing motive. It's not like everything he's ever done has been to, encourage hedonism. But whatever. And moving on. So yeah, they handled it like adults. I'm going to jump to Angel Studios' response, and so this is Geeks and Gamers. And so everybody's very mad about this movie because they're obviously insulting Orwell's memory. And they're shocked that Angel Studios would actually be stupid enough to buy this film. And Angel Studios got very petty, and they basically decided to copy Hollywood and its tactics. And so what they did is, we'll just read a article here for a minute. So, the video, mockery disguised as marketing. The video itself plays out with a parody of Romeo and Juliet, with 2 actors representing Animal Farm and Angel Studios as star-crossed lovers. So they put out a video, and the video is basically their attempt at humor while simultaneously making fun of fans. So, got this from Geeks and Gamers, and so we're just going to watch the film. It's quite lovely.
Oh, Animal Farm. No one wants us to be together.
They haven't even seen me. They're judging a movie by its trailer, which is what trailers are for. But still.
At Chloe Rice 8272 said, Seth Rogen is probably the last person to come to mind to voice a character who's literally meant to resemble Stalin.
Resemble Stalin as a pig?
Seth Rogen is a perfect pig, Stalin.
People are saying I should have been rated R, full of blood, darkness, and despair. At Huff UITV said, making Animal Farm kid-friendly is dystopian.
It's a story about talking farm animals. It's read by kids in middle school.
Yes, it's
George Orwell made it.
Read by kids in middle school so we can scare the crap out of the kids and go, don't be communists. You will starve to death if you are communist. So it's not a child's story in the sense that it's a fairy tale you're supposed to feel good about. It's meant to scare the crap out of you. It is a cautionary tale. But that does not mean insert fart jokes. So that's what they.
Is that really what happened?
I have Seth MacFarlane like farting for a half an hour. So
I hate his laugh. When I hear him laugh, I want to like break his knees. I'm just kidding. I shouldn't say that. I'm being
how
a
you
little
feel
rash.
when people just laugh in general? You just twitch a little bit. It's like, I want to hurt you.
No, it's just his laugh.
Oh, okay.
Just
all
his laugh.
It's just a certain pitch. Just says, I need to hit something. So anyway. So yeah, no, there's a misnomer here. It's Animal Farm is a kid's story, but it's got a very adult message. It's packaged in like, using personification, like turning animals into humans or whatever. But that does not mean adding all this like overly friendly, goofy, fart jokes and people running cars into swimming pools or whatever. It's meant to be scary. Like, it's like Grimm's fairy tales, if you will. Like, they're meant to be warnings, and you're changing the genre. That's the problem. So,
yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know if we can play all. Huh?
Definitely a mess.
I don't know if we're going to play all of this, but I do want to skip to the end, because the end got kind of dark.
That way. It's not like we're doing Schindler's List with farm animals. It's Animal Farm.
I thought that was a little dark. Laughing. It's not like we're doing Schindler's List with farm animals. And then she laughs. Like, why are you laughing at that? That would be horrible.
Because it was a propaganda movie. It wasn't real.
Stop it.
I'm just telling you. Schindler's List was a fictional movie.
No, it's not.
That's why she laughed.
No, that's not why she laughed. She laughed because it was like a silly comparison in their narrative. But anyway, no, I think the Holocaust happened. Let's not... Okay,
I'm not saying the Holocaust didn't happen. I'm saying Schindler's List was a fake movie, just like Animal Farm.
No, like Schindler's List is like dramatic, but it's still relatively a biopic. Like Animal Farm's an allegory. Like yeah.
All right.
Like
I mean,
like a movie can take dramatic
really.
licenses, but like an allegory is meant to take like a completely unrelated scenario and then use an unrelated scenario that doesn't have the same like connotation.
Oh, yeah, because the contrast
Like,
makes you see
if
it.
it's seen in a different environment, then you can see what happened and the patterns and the messages more clearly. You know what I'm saying? Okay.
Yeah, I'm just being an idiot.
Okay. Let's just skip to the end here because it's just more... Oh, no, wait. No, there is one thing I do want to show before we do that. Hang on.
And then at Dustin Maddox 9445 said, "It is wild that Angel Studios would put out a pro-communism movie that was adapted from an anti-communism book."
But I hate communism.
Me too. And at Generically Entertaining said, "They don't even need that windmill anymore. Just hook up a generator to George Orwell's grave and he'd power the whole farm." Because he's rolling over.
I get it. It's really funny.
It's not true.
But it is really funny.
It's really funny.
So, Angel...
Thing. Like, it's just... Yeah, it's so awkward.
This is terrible.
Weird. All right. Amy McLennan says, "I am taking a nap and eating some food before the next Bible study." Well, sounds good. We'll see you then. We'll be here. We'll be here for a while. So, all right. We'll see you, Amy. Thanks for participating in the chat. Appreciate it. So, all right. So, hang on a minute.
Fans hate me?
No, most don't. You passed the guild. It's a loud minority trying to silence us.
Like the pigs.
Don't you love that peer pressure? It's like, hey, if you don't like our movie, you're just as communist as the pigs are. Very adult, huh?
I mean, that's what they did. That's what they did with COVID.
Yeah.
I don't care at all. They can live in their hell. I don't care.
All right. Amy says, actually, my Bible was copyright 1984. Oh. Wow. Yeah.
That's cool.
That's interesting. So, yeah. Weird. Point is, they're trying to peer pressure you. And here's what they had to say at the end. And then Amy says, "Please come over to the other Bible study." We very well might, because our show is running much longer than normal, so we might very well do that.
So this whole video you just showed, that was like to try to make the book
they're trying to push
good?
the movie. Actually, I don't even think they're doing that. I think this thing is just pure spite.
How much money does Angel
Apparently
have?
too much.
Angel Studios must have a ton if they're paying Will Ferrell. Because Will Ferrell doesn't give a shit about this.
I don't know who that is. Yeah.
Are you
I
sure?
don't know who that is. It's not Will Ferrell.
It's in,
Hey, I sure thought it was.
Yeah.
it's a fake AI video.
It could
Oh, it's
be an
fake?
AI video. I don't know.
No one knows what's going on.
There's not. It's
What
not
is
worth
this?
caring about. So, but anyway, so here's what they did at the end. Okay, so
Oh,
It's not Will Ferrell. What are you, crazy?
yeah. It's an AI version of Will Ferrell.
it's weird. All right, let's just finish it.
Can't let the pigs win. Angel proudly presents Animal Farm, a cautionary tale in theaters, and then they put it so it's really hard to see, but if you scroll very closely, it says whether you like it or not. So it's this.
This is so crazy, dude.
Apparently they want to go bankrupt. So it's like they literally, this whole video is basically a middle finger to all the fans that have supported Angel Studios this entire time. It's like, you people are a bunch of plebs. You know, rather than just admitting, look, we didn't know. It was Animal Farm. We thought it was like a regular Animal Farm movie. We thought it was going to stay true to Orwell's vision. We didn't realize that Andy Serkis was a creepy socialist. And, he basically inverted the story, but we spent so much money, we have to make our money back. It's like, it's not like hey, we screwed up. Sorry about that. Please watch it because we need the money. Like, that would have been better, honestly. Instead, it's screw you. You don't even know what's good. Because these people would sooner light themselves on fire than admit they were wrong. So they decided to flip off their fans and tick them off. Angel.
Yeah, that was terrible. I can't.
Yeah, well,
Go ahead.
I do appreciate the irony of a cautionary tale, because I'm like, Angel Studios, you are about to become a cautionary tale. You might want to be careful about dark irony. So, and then, let's see. This is from Friday Night Tights. These are like some of my favorite guys. They had a couple things that were really interesting. But Angel Studios knows that they screwed up. And so they pulled a Disney. And you'll see what I mean here in a second. So, yeah, they pulled a Disney. Here's how.
Fire this movie. And so there's an email that I have here. I'll pull it up if we need to, but I don't think we do. But this is an email. So a paying subscriber reached out to Angel Studios customer support and said, "Why did you guys buy this?" And the response here says, "This movie came to us as an already completed film. Guild members had the opportunity to view and vote on the movie in its entirety. Our Angel Guild approves stories that are, quote, true, honest, noble, just, authentic, lovely, admirable, and excellent. Animal Farm passed because they felt the movie fits that description." And you can learn more here about the Guild. And so this is what they're telling the people that are paying for the subscriptions. But if I may, I think it goes even a little deeper than that. I saw the movie yesterday. I was pretty concerned because I went to an early showing on a Thursday. This looks pretty packed. This is the showing that I attended. I screenshot this because I had a funny feeling that, like, okay, Animal Farm, maybe it's a hit. Maybe everybody's going to see it. Here is the actual theater. There was no one there. So, if you're an Angel Studios member, you're giving them money. They're buying tickets in theaters that no one is in. Like that is, and so if we continue down, guess what? Here's the next showing, filled with almost the same seats. Next showing,
That's crazy,
Yeah.
almost the same seats.
Disney's been doing this for a long time. They've been like hiding their losses by buying the tickets and saying, "Oh, it's to give to people." It's like, yeah, okay. But they've been selling out the theaters. And what this guy points out, I don't know if we've passed that scene yet or not, where he says it or not, but he says that these are the identical seats. So it's a bot basically buying all these theaters because it's the same seats every time.
Yeah. You're a film guy. Tell me, if you made a movie on a budget or bought a movie on a budget and then bought all the tickets, could you make your money back?
No.
Taylor Swift's dad did it.
Okay, that's a fair point. Then that is what they're trying to do, but it's not working because word of mouth is already spread. They already know the movie's crap. So you are right about Taylor Swift though, and it did work with Taylor Swift. Like she was able to create the impression of fame. Actually, what did? No, you're absolutely right because
you can get away with this, but it takes a massive spell. Like you got to really trick some people.
Yeah, no, you're right. Hey, it's Garfield.
I can't.
Sorry, my cat is tormenting poor Trevor. Anyway, so no, you're right because it was The Religion Business, which is a movie I don't particularly like, but there was an interesting scene, or it's a series I didn't particularly like, but there's an interesting scene where the Christian ministry market, they're actually buying books. Like they'll sit there and make their books bestsellers by basically buying them all back after the print and putting them in a basement. So this is a common tactic that a lot of people have started using to create buzz. But when the movie's already this bad and you're already telling off the fans, you're not going to make your money back. And this is what happened to Disney. This is how Disney ends up losing billions and billions and billions of dollars and how they end up having massive layoffs. You can only hide this crap for so long. And it's amazing. Angel Studios hasn't been a big dog in the Christian industry for like 2 years, for more than a couple of years. And they're already pulling this crap.
Well, they got away with what was their kickoff? Was that
Free the Darkness or something like that?
Well, Sound of Freedom was big. Let's see.
Sound of Freedom.
Yeah, Sound of Freedom, and the Jesus Show.
Let me look that
up.
I want to make sure these are all the same people. Did Angel Studios do The Chosen? Okay, so they're saying it was instrumental in the founding of The Chosen. So that might's not the same thing.
They're gripped. They didn't do nothing.
But here's what's interesting.
I don't know.
Interesting news article. Let's just look at this really quick. Dallas Jenkins says the ties between The Chosen and Angel Studios are officially severed. So they parted ways. So maybe this is a signal that Angel Studios was going dark about a year ago, because this is June 24th, 2025. So yeah, Dallas Jenkins, he broke off with them. Calix says LOL, by the way. I'm not sure what stupid thing we said, but thank you very much. So, yeah. Let's see if it says why. I doubt they will, though, because they always got to do business, nice talk. Ties between Angel Studios and The Chosen have officially been severed, the biblical drama's creator Dallas Jenkins announced during the recent live stream. The first 3 seasons of The Chosen were distributed through a partnership between Dallas Jenkins and Angel Studios, the Utah-based film studio known for distributing Sound of Freedom and King of Kings and other faith-based content. In 2023, The Chosen entered a private arbitration with Angel Studios over multiple significant contract violations, Jenkins said. The following year, the arbiter ruled overwhelmingly in the favor of the Chosen team. So Angel was already being...
So they're from Utah?
It's almost like that might be relevant. I have no idea what...
Are they Mormons, by chance?
Whatever do you mean? Surely not.
They maybe think they're better than everybody else and they're
I don't know about all that,
chosen
but
blood.
they would have a lot of money. If they would have a lot of money. So,
fair enough.
Yeah. So let's see. I'm trying to remember. You know, it sucks being old, and I know I'm in my 30s, but I feel old because it seems like, am I wrong in thinking that Angel Studios was the original group that all they had, their original shtick was an app, wasn't it? Like they would take pre-existing movies and they would like cut out the cursing and the nudity and everything like that. Wasn't that Angel Studios' original shtick? Am I right about that, or is that a different group?
I think you're right. Because I remember The Chosen being free on the Angel app. I never downloaded it or anything, but I remember that.
Let me check this because I think I have thoughts if I'm right.
The grift thing is like really coming to the forefront here.
I'm basically thinking it's a grift. Superficial morality is a signal.
They're just like
is kind of where my brain's going.
Taking other things and changing it for a specific group of people.
Yeah. Hang on a minute. Let's see. Did Angel Studios start by... how do I word this? Removing controversial content from other films for Christians. VidAngel, I am right. Holy cow. All right, hang on. Let's see. I'm pretty sure I'm right here. Let's look at this article. Good night. I hate OBS. I hate that I have to constantly change these squares. It's like the worst. Okay, so really, dude? All right. Here we go. It's VidAngel. I knew it. I freaking knew it. Okay, over the past 3 decades, numerous Christian and Catholic organizations have dabbled their hands in producing animated television, movies, documentaries, and entertainment. Most of these efforts led to the production of mediocre media entertainment. Some efforts were successful, while others not even worth mentioning. However, over the past few years, Angel Studios, based out of Provo, Utah, has managed to create a platform that is now producing exceptional media on par with major established media players, an accomplishment that represents growing demand for family-friendly entertainment. The company, Angel Studios, was founded by Neil Harmon, whose previous company, VidAngel, that is so funny, a short-lived streaming service platform.
What's the guy's name?
Neil Harmon. Yeah. That was involved in a series of lawsuits over its capability to censor or remove profane images from major Hollywood blockbusters.
Wait, so it said it was censoring movies, but it wasn't even censoring them?
It would take movies and remove all the stuff it considered bad and then let you watch it. That was the shtick. It was like, hey, we're like Netflix, but no cussing and nudity.
But it just said it
got
problems
sued to
with
oblivion. Right? As it should have.
What an idiot. Neil Harmon, kick rocks.
Don't you mean pound sand? So, yeah.
Either one will work. I'd rather kick rocks so he breaks all his toes. Pounding sand doesn't hurt that much.
Yeah, oh my gosh. That was so long ago. Yeah, I remember thinking, that's crap. Like, that's such a... I don't... it's cussing and all that stuff is not the cause of the fall of society or whatever, but I guess that's a whole other subject. The problem is somebody who's just going to buy films and then edit them, surprise, surprise, they'd buy an inverted version of Animal Farm and not think anything of it. So, yeah, so that's crazy. But that was what I was getting at, Cody, was basically... You can tell, like Joe Cristiano, he had a wonderful saying. He would always say, never trust somebody who has a fish on their business card. Right? Because, it's the people who focus on superficial morality are, as you say, grifting. And whenever you see that kind of superficial stuff, that's usually a signal that you're not dealing with somebody who's a sincere actor. You're dealing with somebody who knows that they can manipulate a large chunk of the population, if they put on this particular image. But the funny thing about those people, and this is what we're seeing with Animal Farm, is they get particularly mad when it stops working. So when people catch on and go, no, we're not following you with this Animal Farm show, they go, well, you know what? Screw you. And then they put out a spiteful Twitter commercial.
You know why?
Huh? Why?
You know why? Because they've attached their morality to the thing that they made. Because it's like they're projecting their morality. So when you look through the bullshit that they made, you're looking through them.
I think they've got a pride issue. I think they just think, like, there's something in the business world I keep coming across, or I used to come across when I was really heavy in it, or I'd met people in it, I should say. I don't want to overstate my role, but they always took pride in the fact that everybody was stupid. You know what I mean? It's like when you bought a product, it wasn't, oh, thank you for supporting me. It was like, ha, gotcha. It's like they'd already assumed their product was crap, and it was a victory that they'd tricked you. Like, that was the kind of culture that I saw. And I feel like these people have it. And when people catch on, they get mad and really, really petty about it. I mean, I can't say that about everybody.
It's harder for a rich man to enter. It's harder for the rich man to enter the kingdom of heaven than it is for a camel to enter the eye of a needle.
Than everybody else. That can make it hard.
Yep.
So, I think we're seeing a little bit of that. But I never liked VidAngel. I never liked that they were able to just censor other people's material. I'm like, that's not a good idea. That just seems unethical to me. It's like, first of all, that stuff by itself is not really why, like, the culture's like acting nuts. Like, I would argue that a show like 2.5 Men did way more damage to society than something with like curse words and nudity in it. And the reason being is because 2.5 Men was on every night, and it was constantly affirming that you could live that kind of lifestyle and nothing bad would happen to you. Now, not every movie with graphic content in it has that message, but 2.5 Men did. And wonder of wonders, and this is one of the dark ironies about it, is Charlie Sheen wound up being destroyed by that very message. He's out there on this show basically saying you can live like me and this is the dream, and some people just got it and others don't, and good guys never prosper. And he's out there advocating that week after week after week after week, and then his whole world implodes, and his show implodes. Of course, when he left, the show collapsed because he was the draw of the show. You know, and it's just an irony that his life, which he insisted had no consequences, destroyed him for years. You know?
Yeah, I would argue Seinfeld did more for the degradation of U.S. culture than any other TV show
I think that's
ever made.
Very plausible. Elaborate as to why you think so.
Because it's a horror show. It's about 3 narcissists walking around New York, ruining people's lives, and you laugh at it. And it's because there's a laugh track. If there was no laugh track, you wouldn't care at all. It would be a terrible show. You'd be like, these people suck. But it's like, and it excuses bad behavior. So like they're like, oh, well, I mean, not that there's anything wrong with that crap right there. There is something wrong with that. Don't be a loser.
Yeah.
Call it out.
No, I think you're right. I think it affirmed bad behavior. And these people that
it justifies it to people in their minds because they come up with this fucking rhetoric they see on Seinfeld and they're like, oh well, fucking George did it.
Yeah, the other guy deserves it or whatever. But but at the same time, Sunny in Philadelphia is kind of the inverse of that because those characters are terrible people. And they usually end up getting it shows them getting what they deserve. So it's like the inverse of Seinfeld. Yeah. I would argue Sunny in Philadelphia is a positive in society. But these people, 100%. They focus just on the cussing. They focus just on the nudity. They focus on the external stuff, and they don't think about the messaging as to whether or not they're advocating for a behavior or not. And so you have a show like Seinfeld, you have a show like 2.5 Men, it slips through the cracks. And it teaches people to live like degenerates, and you don't hear a single cuss word. And then freaking platforms like VidAngel go in there and are like, well, we'll make that story good for you. We're going to take 2.5 Men, but we won't allow you to see any of the raunchy stuff. Well, there is no raunchy stuff. It's network television. Oh, we'll let you watch this other movie, but we'll get rid of the cussing and the nudity. And it's like, it doesn't matter. They're still watching Family Guy. They're still watching 70s Show. They're still watching Seinfeld. And they're getting that liberal hedonistic messaging, whether or not the blue content is in there. And that's what you're not paying attention to. And that's the stuff that's convincing your kids to act like degenerates.
Yeah. Yeah. I just I've noticed that recently because I started listening to Kanye probably like 6 months ago. And I was like going back and listening to all the stuff that I listened to in high school and stuff. It's like he's been talking about God the whole time, dude. The whole time. And everybody's like, oh, well, Kanye's a piece of shit because he talks about how he likes pussy. It's like, well, yeah, he's talking about his sins, his vices. And then he talks about God in the next verse. And they're like, oh, well, he's unhinged.
I think platforms like...
It's like,
yeah.
Okay.
Like platforms like VidAngel keep people shallow and stupid. They don't teach people how to think thematically. Yeah. They don't teach people how to think about messages. It's all feel-good, cheap marketing. You're not helping people to conceptualize the propaganda that's destroying them. So...
yeah. Which is what Bart does and Sonny and, you know.
Yeah. Like, Sonny doesn't advocate for the horrible things that those characters do. That makes it a better show than 90% of the stuff we watched growing up.
Yeah. And there's that clip in there, and he's like, science is a liar sometimes. And that shit's great.
That's true, too. So, you get some real intelligent philosophical dialogue, you know. And then Frank Reynolds going, anyway, I started blasting. So
anyways, I started blasting.
Anyway, so yeah, it's no surprise we're here. It's no surprise it's Angel Studios. I find that so funny that Dallas Jenkins, you know, not funny, but it just matches the timeline that he left a year ago. Or almost a year ago at this point. That fits the suspicion. Because was it... Okay, I got one more thing I want to check. Here. Because didn't Angel Studios start out with House of David? Because I know Dallas Jenkins was tied to that.
Can't be right. Because you guys just watched House of David not that long ago.
But it was a giant DEI project. That was the problem with it. Like, did Angel Studios have any involvement with House of David? The Wonder Project. So no, this is actually a different studio. So we're wrong about that. Let's see. Oh, wouldn't you look at this? The cartoon David's getting... There's a lawsuit involving Angel Studios in this movie that came out with David, too. These guys are just getting sued left and right. It's like... We've been studying this for all of 20 minutes, and we've already uncovered 3 lawsuits for these guys. VidAngel gets sued by producers, and then Dallas Jenkins and them get into a conflict. Now, animated Bible epic David caught in legal battle over rights. Slingshot, the film's producer, brought a lawsuit against Angel Studios for allegedly co-opting the feature to advance its own business interests, including its fledgling streaming service. Last year, Angel Studios, home of the sleeper hit Sound of Freedom, predicted to theater owners at CinemaCon that its upcoming film, David, would be the highest-grossing animated movie of all time, while announcing the title as a splashy 2025 Thanksgiving release. The Utah-based firm, which has eschewed the Hollywood system and prides itself on catering to faith-based and conservative consumers, announced months later that it reached a deal to become a publicly listed entity. Okay, so that's interesting. So it became publicly listed. That might explain something of a turning point, or one aspect of the turning point. Because if it's a publicly listed entity, conspiracy theory time, I'm going to say the CIA bought it. So... Anyway, I know I'm being hyperbolic, but
I mean, they're pretty sloppy right now. I don't know.
It could be at this point. Who knows? So since then, Angel has been clashing with Slingshot, the production company behind David, over its rights as the film's distributors. In November, Slingshot terminated its deal with Angel, which responded that it didn't breach the agreement, has been sued in a lawsuit seeking a court order that it no longer retains the rights to the movie. Let's just go on here. Slingshot alleged that Angel vastly overstepped its authority by excluding it from decisions related to international distribution, merchandising and marketing, making it appear as if David is an in-house production and as part of a bid to herd support from shareholders to vote in favor of a purchase by a special purpose acquisition company better known as an SPAC. Angel propped up its fledgling streaming service by placing episodes of a related TV series, Young David, behind a paywall despite an agreement that the content would be available for free, the lawsuit said. So there's almost like there's a pattern emerging. Corrupt business practices. But this is another thing that kind of gets into my contention with people in this ilk, because it's like, oh, you're going to get mad at cussing and you're going to get mad at blue humor or blue content in media, but you're not going to have integrity in your business practices because that's different. Like, that's good business, and we don't have to be Christians when it comes to business. Or something like that. You know what I mean? I feel like that's an attitude that permeates a lot of Christian culture.
So it is.
Huh?
I feel like we're in spiritual warfare, right? We battle not against flesh and blood, but principalities and powers. When you're making films and trying to influence people, if you're speaking truth, you're going to battle some demons, okay, in that world. And Satan is the ruler of this realm. You're not going to make your money off of the truth. Like, your money has to be made on lies. You can't remake a Bible story and make money on it. That's not going to happen.
You might be right.
I don't think you can, dude. Like God might bless you if you spread the truth, but you can't force payment for the truth.
I don't know. You certainly, like, God doesn't mind people being rich, but, like, there's a difference between being rich in a fair way and just, like, cheating people. Like, these guys are, like, trying to... Yeah. I just feel like there's this legal chicanery thing is kind of the norm in that world. But they'll whine about cussing. But I feel like the cussing and stuff is like a red herring. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like the cussing and the drinking and the stuff they normally jump on, it's not, it's give me the lexicon of curse words in the King James that you're not supposed to use. Like, that doesn't exist. You know, drinking, it's talking about drunkenness. It doesn't necessarily talk. I'm sorry, but the whole idea that, like, the wine was grape juice is just stupid. It's just stupid. Like, that's not, you do realize there's this entire history to fermentation. Like, the majority of humans have survived off fermentation because that's the only way to preserve food for the majority of human history. The wine was not grape juice that, like, spits in the face of, like, all written data that we have, as far as I know. But the point is, you focus on all this superficial stuff because you don't want to hit people where they live. You know what I mean? You don't want to actually talk about the business ethics. You don't want to actually talk about, like, things that are actually relevant. For example, modesty. Modesty is a great example about this. They will get mad at, like, skin coverage, but if you read Paul and Timothy, he's talking about earrings. He's talking about dressing up to, like, embarrass other people. You know, and that was like the majority, that was like how modesty was understood for the majority of human history. Like, for example, in the Middle Ages, you want to know why you have, like, religious jewelry? Because the women were going, well, wait, I know we're not supposed to be wearing jewelry, but what if it's Christian jewelry? Can we get away with that? That's how you get the origin of, like, religious jewelry. And even in, like, George Washington's Rules of Civility, he says, dress in accordance with the expectations of your time. Meaning that the importance, the point behind modesty is to not call attention to yourself. It's not just like a lust thing, it's an anti-pride thing. So if you're going to church with, like, name brand clothing, you're not being, like, just for the sole purpose of making the guy that buys clothing from Walmart feel bad, you're not being modest. Like, it's a pride issue. And that was understood for forever in the church, but they've kind of relegated it to, like, skin coverage so we can just yell at teenage girls and not get mad at the people on TBN who dress up or the people in the church that dress up or whatever. You know, it's just we want to take our rules and denigrate one particular group so we don't have to actually focus on, like, stuff that's applicable to everyone. in my opinion. You did a very dramatic face there. I'm curious as to what you were thinking.
Because I'm not sure if I can say it or not. Okay, so what we're talking about, the one-upping each other, I immediately thought of the black church because they all wear those orange suits and crap like that. And so they're all trying to like Tyrone brought an orange suit, so then Shaquille brought a purple suit the next week, and
it's everywhere. Yeah, it's like these people. But there's some people that try to one up each other with suits, and they make it a big shebang, to dress up nice. But if you're calling attention to yourself, you're sinning. But we don't want to talk about that. Yeah. Let's just, get mad at the teenage girls for their mini skirts so we don't have to make the rule relevant to everyone. So
yeah.
I hate stuff like that. And that's how shows like 2.5 Men infiltrate the culture and teach people that hedonism is okay. And that's how you have a company that's supposedly Christian being sued on a regular basis. So that was a random tirade that wasn't exactly related to Animal Farm, but I do feel like it was pertinent. So, all right, back to Animal Farm. What else? What was the other stupid thing that they did? All right, let's go back to them buying up. Oh yeah, you know what buying up theater seats is called in English. Speaking of like rules that apply to everyone. Yeah, you know what this is called in English? Lying. This is called lying. In Christian nomenclature, the word is lying. Anyway.
Yeah.
In the same theater.
And that's something that they do too, right? Because they have a whole pay it forward thing where you can buy tickets for people to claim for free. So what this means is that no one is claiming these free tickets.
Right.
To see the movie.
Yeah, we've seen this with Disney movies too.
So I'm really glad you point that out. So I am currently I have 2 accounts that are currently sitting in the queue to get free tickets myself. Both I submitted with 2 separate accounts to claim these tickets. The email I got back is you're in the waiting list, and it gave me a number, and the number is 1,127 for both accounts. One was yesterday, and another was this afternoon. I cannot get through to get these free tickets. What is the deal?
Oh boy,
I don't know.
Wow.
Well, I'm
Angel
concerned.
exposed. Man.
This is actually a fairly common socialist trick as well that they use in political gatherings. I mean, socialist trick, literally. When they do political gatherings, they give people option to buy solidarity tickets for the underprivileged who can't get it there otherwise. And this is 98% of the time merely a way to go like, hey, you'll be a really good person if you pay twice. And we'll give this to an underprivileged person. It is a complete scam.
Wow.
Equally.
There is no supposed to anymore, okay? We're free. For example, I'm about to fart right now.
Oh, wow.
This is the sound of freedom.
Oh, don't you think it's a little weird that they were like... I don't know if they were intentionally insulting their own movie that they put out, but that is a little bit of a weird comment. But yeah, anyway, they farted because it's a kids movie.
I actually made the same face that little pig on there was making.
I think I'm still making that face. So it's really
it's a very appropriate face to Seth Rogen talking. I mean,
pretty much anything he does. All right, so there's that, and I had 2 timestamps of this. Let's see, we had 25 minutes and 28. So let me move on to the 25-minute clip. Oh yes, this is what they did to you if you disagreed, if you didn't like the movie. This is how they because they would give you a poll if you liked or disliked the movie or whatever. They had 2 responses or whatever. So one if you were right, one if you were wrong. Like one if you liked it, one if you disliked it. So let me pull that up here. I thought this was appropriate.
If you want to share my screen here, this is what you get when you scan the I didn't like it QR code.
What?
Oh, wow. Yes.
Your opinion is wrong.
You get called a
Your
pig
opinion
immediately.
is wrong. And if I scroll down, we heard you and you're wrong. But wait, just wait. Just wait. Give us money. See, I'm
gotta give them points for boldness, I guess. Is that not the most obnoxious thing you've seen? Yeah,
People are
that's
ridiculous.
insane. Yeah. Well, you
bold move, Cotton. Let's see if it plays out.
I don't know how you guys are gonna pay for all your lawsuits if you're ticking your fans off. So, what do you think? Yeah,
buying your own tickets.
What do you think, Trevor?
I no longer have respect for Angel Studios.
It's pretty disillusioning, ain't it? Or disappointing, let's say. All right, let's see.
In payment portal, yes, $75. This is real. This is a real checkout if you didn't like this movie.
That's so bizarre.
So they are trying to lean into the joke by calling the fans a loud minority when you bought a movie that Hollywood didn't want, by the way. That's why you got it, Angel Studios. Hollywood, this wasn't good enough for Hollywood. And does Andy Serkis hate communism?
No.
Don't think so.
He was a member of the Socialist Party in the 90s.
Right, so there's that. And I got one more timestamp here.
Recommends the book. Most of his ad read is what the book is about, not the movie. So he clearly didn't watch it either or no one from his team.
No, it's pretty apparent.
And I do think it's pretty damning that Angel Studios agreed to do a debate with Tim Pool and then backed out because they had no one that was available to do it. Now, that's probably the best decision because I think they're about to be humiliated. With Andy Serkis' comments, they don't really have a leg to stand on in that regard.
There also has to be the no disparagement clauses. I mean, Angel Studios, even if the guys like let's say they knew, oh my gosh, we bought something we shouldn't have bought. They can't say anything bad about it. They can't besmirch Andy Serkis.
Correct.
We can talk about how bad this movie is and how this was a bad mistake. They almost have to make something to get some kind of buzz to convince somebody to be willing to go, like to see the film. But they can't say anything bad about it. They're liable.
I think that's what happened. I think they bought it off of name alone. They thought, oh, this is anti-communist, so it's going to go to our base pretty well. And they actually watched it and they're stuck with it. And they have to sell it and they can't say anything bad about it. Because like the I didn't like it, and then it takes you to some like snarky thing about, oh, you were all wrong and all that stuff. I could totally see that being a joke on if it was actually a good Animal Farm technique, and people that were left and said, I didn't like it, then they're making fun of them. So I could totally see that is their angle. But they didn't watch the movie, and that's not what the movie said.
In that case, though, Angel Studios should have watched the movie and formed a marketing campaign about what the movie was. Yeah. Because even the professional critics, a lot of them would have agreed with the communist perspective, all the quality and everything else, and they interpreted Orwell's novel as different. So a lot of them say the problem is about power and authority rather than specifically communism or subversion or virtue signaling. So there are different ways that you can read that book, which are technically correct but entirely miss the point.
So yeah, if they'd had a little bit of humility and pivoted because they realized they screwed up, maybe it wouldn't be so bad. But again, double down.
Double down. If you don't like the movie, you're wrong.
But humility is a Christian virtue. And why build that up when you can just not cuss? We hope you enjoyed this episode of Faith, Fiction, and Folklore. If you did, we would love it if you would subscribe to us on YouTube or follow us on Rumble. We can also be found on X, Instagram, and Facebook. And we are available on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, and iHeartRadio. Thank you again very much for listening, and we'll see you next time.